Shalom, shalom. We're the Hebrew Israelites from the camp GMS Cleveland. Before we get started, we'll give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechat, Ladash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who will, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that preaches truth sincerely across the four corners on the earth, and shalom to you, sincere believers that follow after this same doctrine, shalom. And we're the brothers from GMS Cleveland, and this is an open forum. Tonight is the new moon, and we're just going through the spirit, but these high holy days and these holy days, they signs for things to come. These because when the Lord created the moon and the new moon, he created it to show different to show different signs and different seasons. And these high holy days is for different signs and seasons too. And what's about to come? The time of Jacob's trouble, the destruction of Babylon the Great, and the kingdom of heaven.
I got a couple for you. Just Genesis 1:14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them and let and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years."
Yeah, and that's talking about the sun and the moon. And the new moon is supposed to let you know that you're in the new month, and it's a whole new cycle, a whole new moon cycle. And we keep the Sabbaths based off the day the new moon came in. So if the new moon came in on so-called Sunday, like today, then the seventh day of the month, the seventh day from the new moon go land on a Sunday, all the way to the 28th day. Then when that 29.5 day come, then it's gonna transition to another new month, another new moon. But um these high holy days, that's how we able to tell when is our high holy days too, based off the moon.
Okay, this Isaiah 66:23. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, said the Lord.
God, and that's what we're doing. We coming back to our true heritage, which is the nation, Hebrew Israelites. You so-called Negroes. You're not Negro. You're not Jamaican. You're not Haitian. You're not Puerto Rican. You're not Mexican. You Hebrew Israelites according to the scriptures, and you're supposed to be coming back and following after these true customs, your true heritage. Because the so-called Caucasians, they lied to you and called you different these different bywords, like it's written in Deuteronomy. But now we in the time where the nation of Israel is coming back together and being that one nation, being that one stick again, and that's out here prophesying. But like the Lord said, once this gospel shall be preached throughout all the world, and then shall the end come. Because this gospel is known throughout the whole earth. And now we at the end where you got um Esau, promoting this vaccine, and being more draconian with his laws to set up his new world order. But all of these things gotta happen before the nation of Israel get their kingdom. We see that salvation.
Yeah, I had a scripture going back on what you were saying as far as the feast day and the Sabbath. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 43, verse 5. Great is the Lord that made it, and at his commandment it runneth hastily. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a dedication of times and a sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. Right, and that's how you know the Sabbath day.
That's a wrap.
Yeah,
43.
yeah. That's how you know the Sabbath day is based off of the moon phase, the different different moon phases, man. And it's not based on, every Saturday, every
Everybody decided to
right, which is
Saturday,
basically,
Sunday.
contrary to popular belief. The Sabbath is not every weekend. It's
Wanna
based
know what
upon
killed that though? Because ain't no Friday and Saturday in the Bible. You got the first day, the second day, the third day, the fourth day, the fifth day, and so on and so forth. And how was they going off of those days? By the moon. You feel me? So every time it's a new moon, that brings in not Monday, but what?
the first day.
The first day.
Come.
Exactly.
Verse 8, it says, the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven, which go back to, what the brother Royale brought out in Genesis, about how the Elohim through Yahweh created the firmaments, or in the different, levels of heaven. And the moon would be that, I believe the second firmament, or that second, atmosphere.
Come.
Come.
Oh, you find this
You
real
have oh, go ahead.
just off of what he said real quick. We find Colossians. It's before. That's the one it is. Okay. This Colossians 1, and I'm going to start at 12. It says, giving thanks unto the Father, which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light, who have delivered us from the power of darkness, and have translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son. Now we're talking about the Son now, in whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins, who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature. So, who the world calls Jesus Christ, his real name is Yahweh Shah. From by him were all things created, off of the statement that the brother said, you feel me? Because it was Yahweh Shah and the Elohim. Through him were all things created. For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, the spirits, everything. All things were created by him and for him. And he is before all things. That go back to Genesis and it go back to 1 John, because in the beginning, you feel me? It say, for by him all things exist and was created. And he is before all things. And by him all things consist. So Yahweh created Yahweh Shah, and Yahweh Shah created the Elohim, and they created everything else.
Come. I have some this Acts chapter 2, verse 18. It say, and on my servants and on my handmaids I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. And I will show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before that great and notable day of the Lord come. And going back to what one of our brothers pulled out in Genesis about that light in the day and that light in the night being the sun and the moon, and it's given for signs and seasons.
Yeah.
And that's another sign that's given for them when it's an eclipse with the sun, or when the moon is red, when it's a blood moon. That's a sign letting you know that the day of the Lord is coming. And what's coming when that day comes? It's gonna be death and it's gonna be deliverance. Because blood represents death, but blood also represents the the blood that was shed for the nation of Israel, you know. But it say and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. So going back to what the brother was saying, Yahweh Shah, the Most High created Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah created everything else. But you got to call on those same names that created everything to be saved, to make it.
The scripture, because you was talking about the different signs and how the Lord put up the, the ordinances, and He makes them. And basically, we're supposed to watch those, and it's different things we're supposed to watch to see the times we're in and whatnot. So this second Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1, he answered again and said, "Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told you before. Then shalt not understand that it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which He made."
He shall what?
And it says, "Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which He made."
Bam. This Isaiah 29:6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder, and with earthquakes, and with great noise, with storm and tempest, and with flames of devouring fire. So that's how we come to visit the world.
And you seeing these things come to pass. I mean, this year started off with a, you started off with Capitol riots. I remember the job I had, dude died at the job. You know what I mean? Like, guy worked with us at the beginning of the year. So, you know what I mean? I remember first month, it was all those, like those collisions with the semi trucks and whatnot. You had those cars, I forgot what they're called, but
Car accident killed everybody. I think it was either Cali or Florida.
Texas.
It was Texas. It was a couple of states though. It was happening. So I did a video
With the pile up.
It's a pile up. That's what they were. So these different signs. That the Lord is showing. That the Lord is visiting because it's judgment. It's judgment going forth on the planet. I'm going back into Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 3. "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, which you're seeing now, brother said it's open forum. You got it. You got your Black Lives Matter protests, and that little goofy ass movement. But you got a White Lives Matter movement that actually was supposed to have been happening today in multiple states, even in Ohio, in Columbus. So those are your uproars. It says, "Uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning." Verse 5, "For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest." When you see in the end, we're living in the last moments of the last days.
That's right. That's right.
But
Yeah, I just got a quick one because he said that there. Let's see. First Peter 4:7. And this is one of my favorite scriptures. What's this? First Peter. It's First Peter 4:7. It say, "But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer." So the end is here. We're supposed to be observant of the times and the signs. So that's what the word sober going into, being aware. You feel me? Like knowing what's going on, being a watchman. It say, "And watch unto prayer." We're supposed to be praying. "And above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover a multitude of sins." So it's about being brotherly. You feel me? Like seriously, like really watching, praying for brothers, praying for the elders. Like we at the end, man. Like the scripture speaking. You feel me? Scripture speaking, man.
It's Luke chapter 21, verse 36. "Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass,
Read it again.
Watch ye therefore and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass.
Read it one more time.
It's, watch ye therefore and pray always.
Watch ye therefore and pray always. Because it's real and it's hidden. So you got to be watching. And when you're watching and you seeing what's going on, that's going to make you pray.
That
You
ye
in the
may,
right spirit. Yeah.
it said, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass.
Because
And
read it up just a little bit longer.
that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man.
Because we just read what's about to come to pass, and there's many more things that didn't come up in this lesson. But if you be watching, you already know. You feel me? Because when the Son of Man come, it ain't gonna be no more talking. You feel me? It's either gonna be saving or chopping you down.
You got me?
Yeah, I had something, but you had something first.
Book of Luke, chapter 21. Let's start at verse 8. He said, "Take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them." Verse 9. "But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions," when you hear commotions, it's like uproars, tumults. It's like like this. Like I said, when we brought up the whole White Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter, all these protests. You know what I mean?
I say that.
Be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by. Because at the end of the day, we're supposed to be watching for these things. You know what I mean? This is how you go measure the time diligently. It says, "Then said he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom." And you, like I said, we just, like I said, I brought out that, I did a video on that. Like I said, you got White Lives Matter.
I saw it. That's how I know. You just did today.
In verse 11, "Great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines and pestilences." And, that was the point I wanted, because when you go into these pestilences, like, going into that jab is a pestilence now, because, they ain't really got it mandatory, but
It's
for the
killing
most,
people.
it's killing people. People are having a lot of adverse reactions to this thing.
They ain't showing it.
Right.
On the mainstream. Like I seen the one brother show how the lady head was blew up, like she had a closed eye and was all swollen up. People, thousands of people was dying, like not hundreds, like serious people was taking this stuff and dying from it.
Well, the thing is, like, that's the spirit that you say that, because when you go to DMX, like, that's the latest, like, news. Like, the Elder Monoctus Akbar went into that. You come to find out, they trying to say he was on drugs, and it was a drug overdose, but come to find out, he took the jab.
Yeah.
And his family come out like,
that's what his family saying. Right. Really, like, it wasn't no drugs. He took that shit because he wanted to still do concerts, and you feel me? Chase that bag. That's right after he had just talked to some brothers from HOY in Atlanta, you feel me? It wasn't GMS, but you feel me? They still was telling you, like, you an Israelite and the Lord, they gonna play with you, and you feel me?
And the thing is, he actually acknowledged a lot of things. He probably already, you gotta remember, like, a lot of them already know. Right. Like, I mean, you gotta remember, they know to a certain extent. That's why, like I said, when you watch that video, he was up there, and like, so-called black man is the tribe of Judah. And he was like, yeah, he agreed to it. So therefore, he was already familiar with certain things. You got it.
Con, this is 2nd Ezra 2:13. It say, "Go and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you, and watch." Going back to what y'all was saying about watching, we're supposed to be watchmen. We're supposed to be watching for prophecies, because we got a greater thing that's coming for us, And if you're not watching, you're not being aware of what's going on, then you're not gonna receive that great thing,
And that scripture says, pray for shorter days. Because scripture says he even gonna the Lord is shortening the days for the elect's sake. So, you know, if you trying to strive to be the elect, you would pray for shorter days, that the prophecy come quicker and that the Lord come fast so we get the kingdom.
Come right, because the elect will be the first ones to get the kingdom.
Come.
You know, be the first ones to inherit. You know, that's why in Second Peter it's about hastening unto the day of the coming Yahweh Shah, because if you hasten into that day, and if you are part of the elect, you're gonna be delivered in that day. You know, and you gonna receive a reward. You know, but 2/3 not gonna hasten into the day because they gonna be destroyed that day.
This is their world. You feel me? Like if you patient today, honestly, then you in the right spirit because the scriptures is it Amos 5:17?
Folks, woe to them that deserve.
Yeah.
18.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto them that desire the day of the Lord. But we don't desire it, we hasten. You feel me? When you look up those two words, it's different definitions. You feel me? Like, seriously, but it's kind of the same, but it ain't, though. It say, woe unto them that desire the day of the Lord. So what is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Because you got people that don't do what they supposed to do. That's like, oh, I can't wait until that day and it's gonna be all good. They don't know that you got certain standards and you feel me, certain things that you must do, and you must be chosen before the fullness of the earth. That's point blank period.
They think Jesus Christ go save them, man.
God.
We all gonna make it together and shit. That's not the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord, and like I said, it's gonna be darkness, not light.
Because most people gonna be put to death.
It said the elect shall be scarcely saved.
That's true. I'm backing up with you. This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 12. Looking for and hastening to the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. That's talking about the nuclear missiles. So like the brother said, like at the end of the day, if you're in the right spirit, you hasten to the day, you know, you don't love your position on this side, because at the end of the day, you know, you actually, you know, what's the word, groaning. You know, the elder made a video, I think the other day, about the elder in Dallas made a video. He said the whole earth groaning. You know what I mean?
I seen that one too.
Yeah, because it's, I mean, you know, like you watching, you got no power for real, like in this place. You know what I mean? Like the Lord really jacked us up, and then He's showing you. And then, like, if you are really in the right spirit, you know, you love this place. I mean, you know, you love it because you know this is really supposed to be your possession. But at the same time, you're seeing the direction it's in, and you're seeing like this place wicked. Like I said, I did a couple videos on this. Well, not a couple videos, but just mentioning a couple videos. Like this is just really astounds me. But that's how you know the shit over with. Like that dude, Lil Nas X, literally got the #1 song right now on some homosexual weird vibration.
Demon,
loving that shit.
The demon devil against all morality, and that's one of the main reasons when you know a kingdom is falling, because the morale of the people is at an all-time low. But I got a couple precepts going back to end time and the day of the Lord. This is Isaiah 13:6. How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. I'm going to jump down to verse 9. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger. What to do though? To lay the land desolate, and to destroy the sinners thereof out of it. And we all know 1 Peter 4:17 say, destruction and death gonna start where? At the house of the Lord. You feel me? So let's go start with Israelites. And then I got another precept. This 2 Ezra 8:50 about the end times. It say, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time, and we in the latter times, shall dwell in the world. And it's the reason why. Because they have walked in great pride. And ain't nobody prideful than the Edomites and the nigger woman. You feel me? That's why 2/3 is majority nigger women and our people women, because the world is filled up with what? Way more women than men.
Con. And it said, many great miseries shall be done to them. Because the Lord said, if they humble themselves and turn back to Him, He had delivered them and bring them back to their land. But 2/3 not doing that. So that's why they're going to get destroyed here in this land, in Babylon. Well, I had some this on Revelation chapter 1, verse 3. It say, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. You know, so um, right now it's just the time to embrace Yahweh Shah as much as you can. You know, because we at the end, the kingdom about to come, destruction about to come, and all this about to be over with. So you either worship Yahweh Shah on this side now, or you just die a grievous death. You're gonna end up be worshiping him in the kingdom. So Lord willing, this was edifying with that. We're gonna close out giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakhabadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who will well. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom and Abad Babor.
Father, boy.
Walk, walk, walk.